Leviticus Chapter 22. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Tell Aaron and his sons to be careful with the holy things of the children of Israel, which they sanctify to me, so that they do not profane my holy name. I am Jehovah. Say to them, if anyone among all your seed throughout your generations who approaches the holy things, which the children of Israel sanctify to Jehovah, and his uncleanness is upon him, that person shall be cut off from before me. I am Jehovah. No one of the seed of Aaron who is a leper or who has a discharge may eat of the holy things until he is clean. And whoever touches anything that is unclean because of contact with a dead person, or a man whose seed of copulation has gone from him, or whoever touches any creeping thing by which he may be made unclean, or a man by whom he may be made unclean, whatever his uncleanness, the person who touches any such thing shall be unclean until the evening and shall not eat of the holy things unless he has bathed his body in water. And when the sun sets, he shall be clean, and afterward he may eat of the holy things, because it is his food. He shall not eat an animal which has died or is torn by beasts to become unclean by it. I am Jehovah. They shall therefore keep my charge, so that they do not bring sin upon themselves because of it and die by it because they profane it. I am Jehovah who sanctifies them. No stranger may eat any holy thing, a sojourner with a priest or a hired servant shall not eat any holy thing. But if a priest acquires anyone through a purchase with his money, that one may eat of it, and those who are born in his house may eat of his food. And if a priest's daughter is married to a stranger, she shall not eat of the heave offering of the holy things. But if a priest's daughter becomes a widow or divorced and has no child, and she returns to her father's house as in her youth, she may eat of her father's food, but no stranger may eat of it. And if a man eats the holy thing in ignorance, then he shall add 1/5 of its value to it and shall give the holy thing to the priest. And they shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel that they offer to Jehovah, and so cause them to bear the iniquity that brings guilt when they eat their holy things, for I am Jehovah who sanctifies them. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, when anyone of the house of Israel or of the sojourners in Israel who presents his offering, whether it is any of their vows or any of their freewill offerings which they present to Jehovah for a burnt offering, it shall be a male without blemish from the cattle, from the sheep, or from the goats, for you to be accepted. But whatever has a blemish ye shall not present, for it will not be acceptable for you. And whoever presents a sacrifice of peace offerings to Jehovah to make a special vow or for a freewill offering, from the herd or from the flock, it shall be perfect to be accepted, there shall be no blemish in it. You shall not present these to Jehovah, anything blind or injured or maimed or having a suppuration or eczema or scale, nor shall you make an offering by fire from them on the altar to Jehovah. An ox or a lamb that has anything superfluous or lacking in its parts, that you may offer for a freewill offering, but it shall not be accepted for a vow. And anything with its testicles bruised or crushed or broken or cut, you shall not present to Jehovah, you shall not do this in your land. And from the hand of a foreigner you shall not present the food of your God from any of these, because their corruption is in them. There is a blemish in them, they shall not be accepted for you. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, When an ox or a sheep or a goat is born, it shall remain 7 days with its mother, and from the 8th day and onward it shall be accepted for the offering of an offering by fire to Jehovah. But whether cow or sheep, you shall not slaughter both it and its young on 1 day. And when you sacrifice a sacrifice of thanksgiving to Jehovah, you shall sacrifice it so that you may be accepted. On the same day it shall be eaten, you shall leave none of it until the morning. I am Jehovah. Therefore you shall keep my commandments and do them. I am Jehovah. And you shall not profane my holy name, but I will be sanctified among the children of Israel. I am Jehovah who sanctifies you, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Jehovah. Leviticus Chapter 23. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, As to the appointed feasts of Jehovah, which you shall proclaim as holy convocations, these are my appointed feasts. 6 days' work shall be done, but on the 7th day there is a Sabbath of complete rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work, it is a Sabbath to Jehovah in all your dwelling places. These are the appointed feasts of Jehovah, even the holy convocations, which you shall proclaim at their appointed time. In the 1st month, on the 14th day of the month at twilight, is Jehovah's Passover. And on the 15th day of this month is the feast of unleavened bread to Jehovah. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the 1st day you shall have a holy convocation, you shall do no work of labor. But you shall present an offering by fire to Jehovah 7 days. On the 7th day there shall be a holy convocation, you shall do no work of labor. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, When you come into the land which I am giving you, and reap its harvest, then you shall bring the sheaf of the firstfruits of your harvest to the priest. And he shall wave the sheaf before Jehovah for your acceptance, on the day after the Sabbath the priest shall wave it. And on the day when you wave the sheaf, you shall offer a male lamb a year old without blemish as a burnt offering to Jehovah. And its meal offering shall be 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering by fire to Jehovah for a satisfying fragrance. And its drink offering shall be of wine, 1/4 of a hin. And you shall eat no bread or parched grain or fresh ears until that same day, until you have brought the offering of your God. It shall be a perpetual statute throughout your generations in all your dwelling places. And you shall count for yourselves from the day after the Sabbath, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering there shall be 7 complete Sabbaths. You shall count 50 days until the day after the 7th Sabbath, then you shall present a new meal offering to Jehovah. You shall bring out of your dwelling places 2 loaves as a wave offering, they shall be of 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour, baked with leaven, as firstfruits to Jehovah. And you shall present with the bread 7 lambs, a year old without blemish, and 1 bull of the herd and 2 rams, they shall be a burnt offering to Jehovah with their meal offering and their drink offerings, an offering by fire for a satisfying fragrance to Jehovah. And you shall offer 1 male goat for a sin offering and 2 male lambs, a year old, for a sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the firstfruits as a wave offering before Jehovah with the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to Jehovah for the priest. And you shall make a proclamation on that same day, you shall have a holy convocation, you shall do no work of labor. It shall be a perpetual statute in all your dwelling places throughout your generations. And when you reap the harvest of your land, you shall not completely reap the corners of your field, nor shall you gather the gleaning of your harvest, you shall leave them for the poor and for the sojourner, I am Jehovah your God. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, on the 1st day of the month, you shall have a complete rest, a memorial proclaimed by the blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. You shall do no work of labor, but you shall present an offering by fire to Jehovah. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, And on the 10th day of this 7th month is the day of expiation, you shall have a holy convocation, and you shall afflict your souls and present an offering by fire to Jehovah. And you shall do no work on that same day, because it is a day of expiation, to make expiation on your behalf before Jehovah your God. If there is any person who does not afflict himself on that same day, he shall be cut off from his people. And if any person does any work on that same day, I will destroy that person from among his people. You shall do no work. It shall be a perpetual statute throughout your generations in all your dwelling places. It shall be to you a Sabbath of complete rest, and you shall afflict your souls, on the 9th day of the month in the evening, from evening to evening, you shall keep your Sabbath. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, On the 15th day of this 7th month is the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days to Jehovah. On the first day shall be a holy convocation, you shall do no work of labor. 7 days you shall present an offering by fire to Jehovah. On the 8th day you shall have a holy convocation, and you shall present an offering by fire to Jehovah. It is a solemn assembly, you shall do no work of labor. These are the appointed feasts of Jehovah, which you shall proclaim as holy convocations, to present an offering by fire to Jehovah, burnt offerings and meal offerings, sacrifices of peace offerings, and drink offerings, each on its own day. Besides the Sabbaths of Jehovah and besides your gifts and besides all your vows and besides all your freewill offerings which you give to Jehovah. Then on the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the produce of the land, you shall keep the feast of Jehovah 7 days, on the first day shall be a complete rest, and on the 8th day shall be a complete rest. And on the first day you shall take for yourselves the product of stately trees, branches of palm trees and boughs of leafy trees and willows of the brook, and you shall rejoice before Jehovah your God for 7 days. And you shall keep it as a feast to Jehovah 7 days in the year. It shall be a perpetual statute throughout your generations, you shall keep it in the 7th month. You shall dwell in booths 7 days. All who are native in Israel shall dwell in booths. So that your descendants may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I am Jehovah your God. And Moses declared to the children of Israel the appointed feasts of Jehovah.